So Doodly is a great tool for easily creating engaging explanation videos or even short attention grabbing videos. And it's the software I use to create this explainer here as well, to create nice hand-drawn looking videos. So by default, Doodly only comes with 3 fonts: Gotchi Hand Regular, Handley Regular, and Patrick Hand Regular. And look, these all work well if you're after the sort of hand-drawn look that Doodly gives you. However, if you're doing something where you're building with existing branding, or if you're printing parts of the presentations made with Doodly, it can look pretty dodgy. And people have even asked, why are you using Comic Sans? Really, that's not very professional, was their comment. But there is a free and legal solution: the Liberation Fonts project. It's created as a free alternative to Arial, Arial Narrow, Courier New, and Times New Roman. Very common fonts, the kind of ones that come bundled with Windows. And these fonts aren't just free to obtain, they're also free to use however you would like, as well as distribute. So we'll just quickly run through a demo of what these fonts look like before we go on to how to install them. So firstly, you can see Arial, where the Liberation Sans version and the one that comes with Windows, they're pretty much identical. Likewise, for Arial Narrow, you can see that again, it's pretty much identical. For Times New Roman, you will notice that the curves of the letters are slightly different. However, the spacing is consistent, which is good. Though for Courier New, you will see the 2 fonts are quite different. So in my opinion, those 2 aren't really interchangeable, but Liberation Mono is still a nice font to have. So what we have here is an example of, say, an example notice or poster or something that might have been made, and it's using the Arial font. And we might already have that asset, it might be there, but what we might want to do is create a short video to help grab people's attention, maybe to share with social media or other things. So what we can do is use the Liberation Sans font, and we can add just something simple, don't forget, or something like that. And because it's all the same font, again, it doesn't look out of place. It blends in nicely, and you can just stick that original poster as basically an image as a prop, and then just add the text over the top, and it looks as though it was supposed to be that way from the start. It doesn't clash with some of the more hand-styled fonts that you see that come boxed with Doodly. So now we'll look at how to get and install these fonts. Alright, so if you want to get these Liberation fonts, the way to get them is basically to go to the GitHub for Liberation fonts, and that's basically the repository where they live. So you can just click through, you want the Liberation fonts project, and you'll see all the different files there, but what we want is the releases, and whatever the latest release is, you might as well just grab that. So you'll notice here there's 2 different files to get. Now the one you're going to want for Doodly and for importing into other software on Windows and stuff is generally going to be this TTF version, the TrueType font version. So you'll just click on that, download it. I've already done that, so I'll just hit cancel. And then once you've got it, what you're going to do is pretty much going to have to decompress it now. Just delete that from before. So you'll see that what the file is a tar.gz file. So if you're just a Windows only user, you might not be familiar with that format, and the stuff that comes built into Windows will not decompress that properly for you. So what you'll need to do, if you don't have it or don't have other tools, is just download software called 7-Zip. It's just an open source archiving, compression, decompression piece of software. And if you have no idea what version you are on Windows, you're almost certainly on 64-bit, but at the same time, just downloading the 32-bit version will work pretty much on any computer that has been made and can run Windows. So just download that if in doubt, and then once you've installed 7-Zip, it will install some menus for you. So you can right click on that tar.gz file that you downloaded. You can just select the 7-Zip menu, say extract here, and click on the tar file, say 7-Zip, extract here, and then you'll have a folder which has all the TrueType fonts in it. You'll notice there's actually 4 for each font type, separate file for every style, bold, italic, regular, those sorts of things. And you will need to put all 4 of them into Doodly. So we'll just do that. It's very quick and very simple. So you just go onto the text screen. You will need to be in a video. So I'll just create a video called demo here, just a blank one, so that I could add these fonts in. So when you add fonts, they will be available for every video you create from then on. But again, there are no menus in Doodly other than what you find just in the standard video editing one for adding fonts. So you click this little blue plus here once you're on the text tab, then just select, actually we won't browse the file, we'll just drag and drop. So we'll start with Liberation Serif bold. I've already installed a lot of them already, and basically you can have whatever naming convention you like. However, if you're going to have a bunch of fonts installed, I'd definitely suggest something that allows you to quickly find what you want, especially when you have a separate font for each different style of that font. So we'll just add all 4. There we go. Now it's adding them in and they're appearing at the top of this list, and it's also dropping some text into the video as it adds them as well, just because that's how Doodly does it. Now you will notice these words are quite blurry, that it's added just as it's installed them, but if we hit preview, you'll see it is nice and sharp and working well. So there you go. So that's an example of how those 4 new fonts are there, and they'll now be available for any video that I'm creating on my account. So that's pretty much all there is to it. So I'll include links to all of the things that were referenced in this video in the description, as well as a link to purchase Doodly if you haven't already done so. So best of luck.